All right. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. My name is Shannon, for those of you that don't know me. I have been doing Plexus now for going on 7 years in April, which is crazy. It feels like I just started, but also feels like I've always been doing this. Kind of weird. But we are going to be doing a belief building activity today that somebody else did a couple years ago, and I just thought it was so good. And we've done it a couple times, but it's been a while. So I'm like, let me bring it back today for Power 30 to just bring some belief and inspiration for everybody. But just a couple things I want to share before we start doing that is just a thought that I believe Brittany and Megan shared with me when I first started, and it was one of the most impactful things on my Plexus business. And it was to just give this business 3 years and see what happens because the time is going to pass anyway, and you might as well build something amazing, help people feel better, see if you can make some extra income, like all the things, right? And so I took that thought and I just was like, okay, no matter what happens, no matter what, days that are hard, some days are hard, some days you're really excited to work, some days you don't want to work, some days you're like, what am I doing, right? But I always had that thought in the back of my mind of like, I'm just going to give it 3 years and I'm going to see where I'm at after the 3 years, no matter what each day brings. Um, and that right there made me stick with this and allowed me to build a business that I make residual income now every month. I'm a Ruby ambassador, and it's just been amazing to just look back on that and be like, okay, like I did build something. I did grow. I did help people. I've changed people's lives with the products and I've changed their health. I've helped people, bring in extra income by bringing people on and helping them and introducing them to the business and having them do this with me. So it's just been incredible to look back on that, 3 year journey, but now it's been 7 years. And then along with that, consistency. And Brittany talked about this last night on our Team Connect. And if you weren't on, highly recommend you go back and listen to that recording because that was so good. There was a consistency challenge that Megan ran. It's probably been 5, 6 years now. And that really got me into consistent activity and just knowing like, okay, I just have to do the things every day in order to move the needle in my business. And it's not rocket science. It's messaging people, it's follow up, it's introducing the business, it's posting, it's talking about Plexus, it's sharing your story over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it's boring and it can get like mundane or whatever, but it's simple. It's not difficult to do this business. So the 3 year rule along with consistency. And then looking back on that, something now that reminds me to just keep going and to be grateful for where I'm at right now with my Ruby paycheck is that when I started, I didn't want to do this business. I never imagined that I would be here running a business. Um, you all. Okay, so never imagined that I never wanted this, right? Like I never wanted what I have with Plexus right now. So why am I going to get upset or mad that I'm not farther along by now? Does that make sense? Like that, I just always bring myself back to that thought also and say like, I can't be mad at this money that I'm bringing in every month because I signed up for the products and never signed up for this business. And so I've built that along the way and it just keeps me going, I guess, on days that are hard, is all I'm trying to say. And then just staying close to the fire and doing exactly what you're doing right now by being here on this call, getting on Team Connect, you know, um, talking to your upline, just staying close to the fire and being around that inspiration. Okay, so those are my first beginning thoughts. I hope they were helpful. So we're going to do this belief building activity. So if everybody could, or if more of you could put your camera on, that would be amazing. If not, it's okay. I understand. But I'm going to have you either unmute if you would like to, or put it in the chat. So we're going to start off with sharing some different fears that you have around sharing Plexus? What are you fearful of when it comes to sharing Plexus? And like I said, if you want to unmute, you can do that. Or what scares you? Go ahead, Victoria. Thank you.
Right. So even now, 7 years in, sometimes I have to check my ego because I feel like I sometimes find myself not thinking like, oh, I'm a professional network marketer. Like I still kind of see it sometimes as like, oh, this is a side gig thing. And like I always thought I would be a lifelong teacher, but like God had other plans for me and I love this so much, but like I do have to check myself. And so the fear of sharing sometimes is like, oh, people aren't going to take me seriously because, I'm not a professional, like I don't have the title. And that's just my ego, but like I do have to check that sometimes. So
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Some others in the chat are people feeling like they're thinking I'm selling to them. Leslie has no fears at all. I love that. That's amazing. Um, Sam says that there's people who think that it's a scam. So yeah, there's lots of fears going around when you are, sharing something and trying to sell something, right? We are trying to sell something. And so that can be, scary sometimes. You don't want people to think the wrong thing. I know that I started sharing because of what the products had done for me. I literally have screenshots that I took when I first started of my conversation with Brittany and how I was like, do not ask me to share Plexus. Do not ask me to put it on Facebook. I'm not doing it. I was like, I gave her all the reasons and excuses that people give me when I bring up the business. I don't have time. I run a candle business. I do ultrasound. I just don't have time to share your Plexus stuff. Okay. So please just don't ask me. And so we all are, there's all fears around that. But most of the time your fears are about yourself. Like they are not about the person that you're trying to help, right? So if you have it in your mind that you're trying to help somebody, there's nothing to fear, right? And so so one thing that really scared me when I first started was doing Zoom calls just like this or any public speaking at all at that. I would literally like lives, anything like that. I would be like shaking, stuttering, like all kinds of crazy things. But now I tell myself before I get on these Zooms that this is not about me. It has nothing to do with me. It does I don't matter. I am just here for you to encourage you, to inspire you, to bring whatever nugget you get from what I'm talking about today. It's all about you guys and who's listening. So same thing when we're sharing the products or the business. If you just take the mirror away from yourself and turn it on other people and think to yourself, I'm reaching out to this person because I want to help them. I'm telling this person about the business because maybe it'll change their life. If you turn it away from yourself, those fears go away. It's amazing. So try that. Okay. So when people join Plexus, most of the time it's for the products, but there's three reasons why people join Plexus. It's for the products, the community, or the business, right? So we're going to go through those three things and talk about, talk about them and build some belief with those. Okay. So again, if anybody wants to unmute, you can, but drop it in the chat. What has the Plexus community done for you or meant for you? What are some things that the Plexus community has done for you?
Well, I'll go first.
Thank you so much.
So, and if Rachel is on, she'll probably get a big laugh and kick out of this. I originally joined Plexus to prove her wrong because I had done some other network marketing schemes and whatnot, however you want to phrase it. And I was like, all right, there's no way this stuff is really going to work. And 2 weeks in, this stuff is really working. And so as far as the products go, I'm a firm believer in the products. There's no doubt in my mind that I'll go a day for the rest of my life without the products. But this community, all you ladies and you few guys that are here with me too, y'all are like freaking rock star awesome. You're very supportive, you're encouraging. when I have days when I'm feeling like oh no, I can't do this. I can't go on. There's somebody that posts something up in the energy bus or, one of the group chats that just immediately has a paradigm shift in my thought process on it. And I immediately go back to, you know what? Quit your whining and get to it. So that's what, thank you all, by the way, because y'all are really, kind of help keeping me going.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for sharing all that. And it's so true. Like, I feel like we all have that mutual feeling about the community, and it's just it's something that I never knew I needed or wanted. Like, I didn't know this amazing community existed out there in the Plexus world, and it just has brought me best friends that live in Ohio and all over different states, and it's brought, friends that I had in high school became closer, or family, and just we've grown together, we've done different things together, and so it's just been amazing. And some other things in the chat where Plexus has brought new friendships into my life and has helped me to feel my best. Plexus has helped me feel better and suffer from GERD and anxiety. So much because I moved from New York with no family and friends, and my Plexus family has been my community, my pickup, and so supportive. I love all of that. And so a plug for any in-person events, that's where the community is. Get to convention, buy your convention ticket, go. It doesn't matter what rank you are. It doesn't even matter if you don't have one person on your team yet. Go to convention, because when you are in a room of Plexus people, I can't even, you have to come. I can't even explain it. It's amazing. It's out of this world. The energy level is incredible. So get to convention, do in-person events. It doesn't even have to be a huge amount of people. It could just be you and your upline. It could be just you and somebody, that you are introducing Plexus to or just got started. Next time Leaders Retreat comes around or another contest, get your booty going with that. Write down what you need to do to earn it, and earn the dang thing and be there in the community, because it's unreal. It's amazing. I love it so much. And then also planning your own events. Have quarterly events with your team. Have, sip and sees or sip and shares or whatever you want to call it, get-togethers, different themes. So many things you can do to create your own community too, with the people around you and the people on your team. Okay, next thing is, what has the Plexus business done or given you? What has the Plexus business done for you or given you? And if somebody wants to unmute and share a business story, that would be amazing. Victoria said it's given choices. Paid for 4 months worth of products in my first 2 weeks. Okay, so let me just talk about that right there. What's the biggest excuse that people give for not doing the products or not buying? They don't have the money. And you know what? That is the biggest, most annoying excuse, because I'm like, people will find the money for the things they want and the things that they value and the things that they feel are important in their life. So there are so many ways to go around that, but also that's the perfect opportunity to be like, hey, you have a referral link, you can share with your mom, your best friend, your coworker, and boom, you can make your money back on your products plus some in the first couple days. So never hold back from sharing that referral link and sharing the business opportunity. Slow but steady growth, a little extra money that's paid for my products. Megan said, where do I even start? We have so many options now. Paid off $100,000 in student loan debt in 15 months, cash flow to pool, all the amazing things that we've seen Megan share about. Victoria, you can unmute again if you want to, if nobody else would like to.
Okay, I love all of these so much. The business. It has just been such a rock along with the community for me in like many different seasons. Just moving back from Virginia to Ohio and realizing that going back to a year one teacher salary and paying for childcare for 2 young kids was not like an option for me, just because it would be like a wash. So having Plexus, even at that time, which was about 6 years ago, having that be just an extra, few hundred to $1,000 was such a blessing. And then during COVID, my husband took a really significant pay cut. And so it was a blessing at that time too, to be able to have that income. And then even now, like my husband travels a ton. So just being able to stay home with my kids, so that I don't have to worry about, if they're sick, going in and making sub plans and all of that. So yeah, grateful for it just being there through all the different seasons of life.
Yes, I love that so much. Thank you for sharing. It's been amazing to watch you be able to be home with your kiddos while Chad travels and all of that. So go ahead, Britt. You go, girl.
Okay, so we're like mid homeschool day, all the things. And I know that doesn't look like living the dream to most people, probably. But it really is. Like for us, this is what we wanted to do as a family, is be able to homeschool my 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, and have the lifestyle flexibility to do this. And like, I'm so grateful to have an opportunity like this where I can help people be healthy, which is one of my passions, but work it around like doing life with my family and my kids. And so when I think about like, oh, what has Plexus done for me? Like it truly has allowed us to have this lifestyle that we want. And like everybody's dream lifestyle looks different, right? Like this may not be your dream, this may be your nightmare. And I get that. But for us, like I'm just so truly grateful that we have been able to say yes to me not working in healthcare anymore, and again, just to be able to still support people, lead a team, go on these amazing trips, like do all that while doing this home thing has been such a gift.
I love that. That's amazing. So good. And it doesn't matter that it's nobody else's dream. It's your dream, Brittany. And I love that, watching you and being able to be home with your kiddos and teach them and all that. Being able to move. She moved. We worked in the same hospital system. She left me, went to Pennsylvania, and is living the Poconos dream. And I love watching everything that you do, Britt. All right, so all of that is super belief building with the business, and just hearing everyone's stories and how that has, how the income has impacted you. And also, I have loved the aspect of the personal growth. And this was another nugget. Somebody said it's Plexus is, or no, network marketing is a personal growth journey with a compensation plan. And that was always so good to me too. I'm like, okay, like I'm just going to get paid to better myself and to help other people. And who wouldn't want to do that? Like that's amazing. So there are people out there. So a couple other things too, that it's, you get the fun prizes, the personal growth, you get your products covered, pay medical bills, extra money, financial flexibility, all the things, right? And a lot of people don't have jobs that are fun or jobs that they can earn trips on. People go to work every day and still can't afford their car payments or their products. And so like this extra income is life-changing. It could be life-changing for so many people. And another thing, if you need some inspiration and some belief building, go watch a Diamond Doc. Go find a Diamond Doc and listen to their story, or whatever it is that speaks to you to build the belief with the business. Go and do that on a daily basis. Okay. The last thing is the products, right? Which is probably the thing that we all joined for. And then bonus got the other two things, the business and the community. So what has the Plexus products done for you and your health, or somebody their health? You can drop it in the chat. And if anybody wants to be brave and unmute, I would love that. It's reduced medication. Some things I have written down were a healthy gut, better sleep, hormone balance, freedom from fatigue, reduced inflammation. Can I call on somebody? Want to use that, have your camera on? Kim, do you want to share? Can you share? Did you know I was going to call on you?
I knew it. I had a feeling. Well, honestly, it's only been 5 months, I guess. Yeah, about 5 months. But I honestly didn't notice until Christmas. I was decorating, and I generally in the fall, the leaves and all that drive me crazy. So I have bad asthma, like bad, that I am in my room. I can't sleep at night. I can't breathe. I have a nebulizer, all of that. At Christmas time, I was in my room and I was like, huh, I have this little machine next to my nightstand, on my nightstand. I actually zipped it up, put the medication inside, and put it away. I've never done that well, I'm old now. I just turned 52, but I haven't done that in a long, long time. And I haven't used my inhaler and I haven't used any of my medicine, which is crazy to me. It's crazy. I'm not saying that every year is going to be, perfectly healthy, but it was amazing to me that I was able just to zip it up and put it away.
That is awesome. And I can
Yeah.
relate to that because I've had allergies and asthma my entire life, like got shots when I was little, and
Right.
I giving it like it took about 6 months to a year for me to stop my prescription medication. And so yeah, when that happened, I was like, wait, I don't need like I'm not like sneezing my head. Like I literally used to stick tissues up my nose and just sit there because like
And go to bed.
I couldn't control it. And like I set going on 7 years now, I don't need my prescription allergy medication anymore. Blows my mind. So I love that so much. So good. Okay, some other things in the chat was lowered my A1C. Um, it's helped with chronic fatigue, hormones, anxiety, inflammation, helped with fertility, life-changing. It's increased energy throughout the day. So many things, right, guys? So many things. And we've heard it. We've heard stories and we've read each other's stories, and it's just go back to that, right? Like when you're talking to people about Plexus, remember the stories. Like nobody can take your story from you. Nobody can say that your story isn't true, that what the products have done for you is not true. Like you are living proof that, this is my story. This is what it's done for me. So share that and share it all the time. Like, we feel like we maybe like vomit Plexus all the time or we're sharing too much about it, but I think sometimes we're not sharing enough or we're not sharing like that story of what, why we're here doing this still, what it's done for me. So always go back to that and revisit that. Share your story every step of the way. And as you try new products and you do new things and you get older and all the things, like keep sharing that story. That's what your Facebook and social media should be. That's your storefront and your storytelling. And also to go along with that, I'm just going to make a plug for our Stories of Hope group. Is everybody in our Stories of Hope group? Because myself, Victoria, Cheryl, and Nalian have been putting a lot of time and effort and stories into that group so that when you're talking to somebody and their story doesn't relate to you or they have completely different symptoms than you ever know what to even tell them to take, you can go to this group and you can search for whatever their symptom is or whatever they're struggling with, and then send them that story. Because again, stories speak. Stories are, you can't take somebody's story away from them. And if they can't relate to yours, then there's got to be another story out there that they can relate to. Another thing that I love to do is to make sure I keep my belief in the products is when I reach out to my customers or I see like a positive message from somebody, like if I reach out and say, hey, how you doing on your triplex? And they're like, oh my God, I'm, going to the bathroom regularly and I have so much energy and I'm sleeping so good. Take a screenshot of that text and save it into a photo album in your phone. I have a photo album of all texts from over the years of people giving me positive feedback of being on the products and being introduced to Plexus. And so like when you're having a rough day or you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to reach out to this person, pull that photo album up and just read through some of the positive things that it has helped the people that you've shared with, that you have helped. You can take a screenshot of the chat right here and just save some of these things that everybody is sharing right now to help build your belief. So that is pretty much all I got for you today. And I hope that this was encouraging and that I hope that you have belief in all three parts of our business, or parts of Plexus, I mean, the business, the products, and the community. And if you don't, if you're lacking in one of them, use a tool that I suggested to build that belief in that area, and know that we have something amazing to share with other people, and that you are doing something good and you are changing people's lives. And if it doesn't feel like it right now, give it that 3 years and look back and see what you have done and what you have built and the person you've become and all of the things. So thank you so much, everybody, for being on. I truly appreciate all of you, and I love this community so much. Have a good day.